Welcome back to Small Engines Galore. On today's episode, we're going to be messing with Off-Road Machine's transaxle, which is a Peerless MST 204. I screw up the locker and all that good stuff. So, let's get into this video. For anyone who's new, this channel is called Small Engines Galore, and we build off-road and racing, everything to do with custom lawnmowers. Anyways, this is one of our units right here. It's called Off-Road Machine, and yeah, it's got a 25 horse V-twin underneath the hood, Peerless MST 204 in the back, Goodyear Tracker quad tires, and a lift kit on the front. It's pretty sweet, but we're running into some issues recently with this transaxle, which is what we're going to be looking at today. It's making a lot of noise in fourth gear, just a lot of overall metal on metal noise, like it's just running out of lube, I think. And then we're also probably going to be building a locker for this thing at this point. Guys, we're just gonna go ahead and pull this transaxle out. Pretty simple on these. They have two bolts right here. This is one of our spare bolts. We always just keep spares on everything. And there's a bolt down in here, in here on our front mount. Normally you have brakes. This unit, the brakes have kind of been not working recently because there's no brake rod in there, but whatever. And then you got your pulley and your shifter, which I'll show you once I'm done getting the mounts out. Alright guys, with the mounts out, what we can do now is we can go underneath, get the belt and the shifter. Don't worry, I am on jack stands and an ATV jack with locks on it. Not there, that one's actually not engaged right now, but whatever. We'll get her sorted out. Anyways, shifter on this unit is right here. It's a floor style shifter, so right in there, that shift pattern. Anyways, normally these have a cotter pin, but we've since swapped out to this quick pin. Just because this transaxle does have to come out here and there, and cotter pins suck to deal with, to me. I don't like them. I mean, they hold up and they do their job, but they aren't super easy to get out. So now the belt wraps around this big old pulley on the back. And yeah, we've built some belt guards for it, so that hopefully it doesn't fall off. Now we're gonna try to get the belt past those belt guards and out the top of the pulley on this transaxle. So we can go ahead and drop the rest of this unit down. Once, of course, I get this front mount bolt that I forgot out. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be going in the comments about why don't you just lift the transaxle out or lift the tractor off the transaxle. I love this little ATV jack just because you can drop them out super smooth and easy. Slide it back there and put her right on the ground. Look how awesome this is. I mean, these aren't heavy units, these transaxles, but this does come in handy a lot. Now I got this transaxle on the bench. What we can look at right now is we got a 7-inch pulley on here. It's driven by a 3-inch pulley on the front of the engine. So basically like a stock pulley setup, just a little bit smaller on the back. What we're worrying about right now is that this pulley is kind of stuck, which I'm really not excited about trying to cut out because we wanted to reuse this pulley setup. Don't want to really be changing a lot about this. Just want to figure out what the hell is going on in fourth gear with this thing, why it's making so much noise. Okay guys, so this pulley is pretty stuck on here. Just spraying WD-40 hasn't really helped it, but I'm going to go ahead and try making it hot, making it a flamey WD-40. We'll see if it helps. So I'm going to use this cheap barbecue lighter and some WD-40. Okay, that's got some heat. That was warm for sure. Look at that. We're just taking these case halves apart. You guys are going to hear me every single video that I have a transaxle apart. Take it apart upside down so the shifter detent ball doesn't fall out, which on this one's actually right here. But I know some of you guys are going to be getting tired of hearing that, but there's some newcomers on every single video, so always good to share little tips and stuff. I just found that is way easier, especially on these Peerless and Spicer ones, the ones that are this 90-degree box essentially, where it's got the top input shaft and two side axles. The detent ball likes to fall out of these into the grease and into the oil, and makes for a not very fun time when you're going to fix them. And so yeah, that's what we're working on right now. I'm just going to tear apart all these bolts here out of the case, and then we'll update you guys once we got her cracked open. Guys, we are taking apart the transaxle from our off-road machine. Bit of noise in fourth gear, but I guess whatever. Let's just see what's in here. All right, let's pop this out. Oh, look at this, guys. Rusty, would you like some chocolate pudding?
I think that's either been pushed around or that's metal in there.
Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty thick. Looks mostly like grease, though. Like pretty disgusting grease, but still something. That's disgusting. What I'm more worried about, look at the edge of these axle shafts.
That's a bearing slot.
That's a bearing slot. Look how plugged up this is. Same idea on this side. And then this is the top half of the case. We take them apart upside down always. Look at how badly burnt up this grease is in here. It's really very, very unhappy. Literally just chunky. So another upgrade we're actually going to be doing to this transaxle, aside from cleaning it out and getting all this diarrhea out of it, is we're going to be changing out these actual axle shafts. This is a Peerless MST 204 out of a lawn tractor called a Husqvarna. I forget what it's called. I think a YT 160 or something. I'll put a picture of it up here at some point, right here. Anyways, it's got stubby little axle shafts, as you can see. There's almost nothing sticking out the end of this. But these axles are out of a Peerless MST 205, which is exactly the same as this, except for that it's got 5 forward gears. And there's also a MST 206, which has 6 forward gears. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, this axle is a fair bit wider. This will give us about 1 inch on each side, 1.5 inches maybe, of extra width, which doesn't sound like a lot until you actually see it with the tractor. All right, well, that right there is another 95 bucks in zip discs. All right, guys, back in the garage again. Got this case half close enough to cleaned out for now. Got some axles figured out. Got our 205 axles, all the spider gears swapped in. And now I'm building our locker block. So this right here was 2x2 square tubing that I've cut down diagonally and made it into 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, which is what you're gonna need to go between here and here. And I believe it's 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 that you're gonna need as far as measurements. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead, weld this together, figure out our width for here, cut that down, make sure that still fits in there, and then draw a hole for our center pin. Well, that's not pretty, but there's something. All right, so I ended up cutting my locker block too skinny. I'm not making another one. We're gonna rock this as is. I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole in the middle of it. We're gonna shove that center pin in this thing and let her fly. All right, well, just went ahead and welded up the locker block that's now stuck in the case. It's expanded a lot. Let's just say that. There's a lot of heat put into everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this contract on its own for a few hours and then I'll come back. Okay guys, finally let the locker cool down and I screwed up really, really bad. So I obviously didn't square this up nearly good enough because check out this. That ain't gonna work. So our plan B right now is this transaxle, which is out of Beast 2. We're putting it in this. Only because this is now gonna be our first test of the locker block because I've never actually ran the Beast 2 properly before. So we're gonna try this locker block idea out on our off-road machine and see if this transaxle lasts, and we'll see if this transaxle is really any good for abusive driving. Right?
Right. Totally no abusive driving.
I was gonna say you totally don't ever abuse your tractor, do you?
No, that doesn't happen.
Okay, guys, just getting the transaxle in. Check out our new wheel spacing. So I mean, yeah, it's in there, perfect. And so now it's just outside that quad rack. This totally gives this thing a whole new look, I think. Huh. What's your bets on that this thing will start right now? It's like -5 degrees Celsius here. And this thing hasn't been running in a few days because we've had the transaxle part on the table. Which let's see if it goes, I guess.
Stop putting it off. We'll just...
Whoa! Shoot! You good? Hey guys. We are working on the off-road machine transaxle. We currently have a different one in it right now as a temporary setup, but we really want the 204 back, but with a welded diff. We're running into an issue here where the one that I welded, the center section, was totally screwed up, but we figured out why. It wasn't because I screwed up on alignment. Look at the height difference in these axles. So that's why this doesn't turn straight when they're welded. So I have a question for you guys. How do you fix this? There's nothing in the cases. Okay, they're not... Well, that one's pretty clean-ish. But they don't sit anywhere near the same height. So how do you fix that? But ultimately, here's what we found. Now that we have a different set of axles out of a different mower, we have a straight edge right here that we can show you. These are sitting perfectly straight all the way along. Check this out. Don't know if you guys can see that or not, but look at our height difference right here. Top of this one to top of this one. Might not look like much, but that is plenty enough to make it so that these will not spin straight. And then, I guess, whatever, we'll make this level. Like that, that's about level. Look how much this axle had to come up out of here to make it level. Like, that's nearly, yeah, right there. That's how much gap we have in here. This case is actually warped really bad. Welcome to Small Engines Galore. On today's video, we're going to be tearing into this free Peerless MST 206. I'm just a couple fingers turning it, and it's spinning this shaft, no problem, and it's in high gear. So, did you like it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video where we're messing... I don't know what we're messing with next. Depends on when all the videos come out. We're working on the Viewer's Choice 111, my other 111, more stuff on off-road machine, the dump tractor, and we'll see, maybe my racing mower we'll start a video on. But the rest of them, we've already started videos and we're filming, editing, all that. I usually do mine in batch editing and filming, so it's a little bit difficult to get videos out all the time. Life's busy. So thanks for your all's cooperation and have a good rest of your day.